Hello, it's Friday night, it's UHL, and we have a great one for you. We have Storm Rage from the Blizzlet podcast versus Edelweiss of Team Swagoy representing Team Toast. I am Wicked Good. I am here with Steffi from Team Swagoy. How you doing, Steffi?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. It is the end of the work week. I have 2 days to sleep in, and I have a fantastic match of Hearthstone to cast. So I am super excited.
Yes, this is going to be a fun one tonight. So if you're here already, friends, buckle down because it's going to be a show.
Yeah, DreamHack who? We got some UHL action.
Exactly. Priorities.
So this is week 6, and if this is your first time joining us, we'll go over the rules just so that you are aware of what's going on. So UHL is a bit of a different format. It is best of 5 conquest with no ban, and the reason there is no ban is because each player chooses 3 classes per week, and then those classes are unavailable for that 3-week cycle. So this is week 6. So the players are left with whatever classes they have not chosen the past 2 weeks. A bit of gamesmanship, at least on the part of Storm Rage, given that the nerfs came down between week 1 and week 2 of this cycle. So he had to navigate which classes he was going to pick. Edelweiss, representing Team Toast, is kind of just stuck with whatever the other 2 players left for her.
Exactly.
But it looks like she's making the most of it. And Storm Rage, again, from the Blizzlet podcast, Edelweiss is a very well respected player and top 16 participant in HCT or is Copa America.
Copa.
Yeah, and well, Steffi, you're her teammate. You could probably do a better job of introducing her than I can. So
No, that's actually one of her biggest accomplishments at the moment. And as we know, there's going to be many, many more in the future. But she performed very well in Copa America. And yeah, she's just been doing really well in the tournaments that she has been playing in. She's been getting in top 16 to top 8. And she's here to kick some butt and, for all fun. Fun. So.
Yeah, and I mean, what I know her for is being a very accomplished control player, especially with the Brotherly Brawl a few weeks ago, bringing a very heavy control lineup and playing it extremely, extremely well. And the lineup that she chose to bring this week reflects that. Not necessarily control decks per se, but heavy, heavy combo decks. Going with, so she is bringing Rogue and Mage and Shaman. So the Shaman is a Shutterwalk Shaman, which is probably the most normal out of the 3 decks that she brought. She also brought a post-nerf Quest Rogue and a questless Exodia Mage.
Yeah, OTK Mage, man. I'm excited for that one.
I am so excited to see this. I have not played. I really haven't played any Quest Rogue before the nerfs, but I certainly haven't played any after, and I haven't seen any after. And this questless Quest Mage, looks fascinating.
It's fun. It's very specific on how you get the combo off, but when you do, it just feels good, man. So
yeah. And then what we're looking at for Storm Rage is a more traditional lineup. He has a Mind Blast Priest and a Quest Warrior and a Taunt Druid. And normally I would think that the Taunt Druid would be kind of the star of his lineup, but against this set of decks from Edelweiss, this could actually be his Achilles heel, I'm starting to think.
Right? Yeah, it might just be too slow. Unfortunately, it might not put the pressure on fast enough against her lineup. So we'll have to see, because especially with the OTK Mage, if you just give them the time to just get the resources they need, then she's going to win.
Yeah.
And same thing with Shutterwalk, Shaman. She can take that time to just get what she needs and then just win the game.
And we've already seen Beast showing up on the Taunt Druid side of the board wreck some games last week. And so 2 Hexes will do a pretty good job of getting a Beast on the other side of the board. I honestly think, all things considered, he might want to try to line that up against the Quest Rogue, but he's not going to know that, because I would not expect that he's going to, other than maybe the Shaman, I would not be expecting, even knowing Edelweiss's background, I wouldn't be expecting these 2 decks from her necessarily.
Exactly, I agree. So it should be a good time. It'd be a nice little shocker for him.
Yeah. So
He doesn't know what he's got himself into.
yeah. So I know you're a little bit biased, but who are you thinking comes out on top in this match? What's your prediction?
I am a little biased. I mean, I will say though, I don't know, Storm Rage, he is bringing top tier decks. Decks that have been known to be performing really well. So if he's able to utilize these decks and be smart with his resources, I could see the win just based on, like, you know, he's smart. He's bringing some of the best decks. But we all know I'm gonna pick my girl. And wants to come out on top. So I'm just giving him that positive shout out.
Yeah, I mean, I think Storm Rage has his work cut out for him, to be honest. I think that this is a really good set of decks that Edelweiss has lined up, and she's can play decks like this. So I don't know how worried Storm Rage is, but he might want to be a little bit worried. But we'll see. I mean, stranger things have happened in UHL for sure. So I feel like we've built this up enough. We should give the players the go ahead, and let's get into this. And I mean, what?
No.
And I'm really kind of hoping that we see this Quest Rogue come out first. I
hope to see it as well.
Have you seen any of the Quest Rogues since the nerf happened?
I saw Dog playing it, like, right after the nerf, but I think I only saw him playing it for, like, one day, and then that was it. So I really haven't seen it floating around on ladder, at least that since I've been playing on ladder. I don't know. What about you? I feel like it's just kind of died off.
Yeah, I saw, like, a list come through on Twitter, like, last night, and I haven't seen anyone playing it. And I know that Edelweiss has been playing a lot of Miracle Rogues. That was kind of what I expected her to be bringing. But we are going to see. We're going to start with the Shaman.
And the Druid.
And we're starting with the Taunt Druid. I mean, I don't blame him, because, like, this is probably his strongest deck out of the three. I mean, not that the Quest Warrior is bad, but the I would say that the he has to be a little bit nervous about the Mind Blast Priest in general. And,
right, I agree.
You know, if you're going to start with your strongest deck, you may as well start with the Taunt Druid.
Yeah, I think statistically too on Hearthstone Replay, this deck has just been really performing very well for a lot of players. Yeah,
I mean, it's a good deck, and it's you know, if you can sit around and do nothing, it's fantastic. He's not going to have that opportunity against Edelweiss, but he's also, well, against the Shutterwalk Shaman, he probably is going to know what he's up against very quickly. This is more of the value build of the Shutterwalk Shaman with the Fireflies, and I believe she runs Stonehill Defenders as well. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but
check that.
yeah. But this is less focused on the OTK and more on just getting a bunch of stuff to keep chugging along.
She's not, but she's running. Let's see, she's running Prince Keleseth.
yeah, that was the earlier builds ran that, and Hemet too, to get rid of all the jank in the beginning of the list. Hemet. And this Matatide Totem's going to come down and just start drawing through to the win condition, and a Tar Creeper for Storm Rage, a card that's kind of falling out of the list a little bit, but does give the Master O card a little bit more value. And just a kind of a standard opening from these two decks that you would expect, just kind of setting up pieces and getting some cards drawn. And this Oaken Summons on curve is going to be a very good start for Storm Rage.
I agree. Starting to get the minion pressure on. That's a good one to get, because hopefully I'll be able to clear off that Mana Tide. Because you know he is not happy to see that. Yeah, the last thing he wants is for her to draw more cards. Yeah,
and that's stuck for at least 2 turns already. So he's going to want to be getting rid of that ASAP, but he can't do it this turn. And there's the Keleseth, and it is still active. Not sure if that's not really what Edelweiss needs to do. And probably against Taunt Druid, it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, I agree. I think, again, she just wants to cycle.
Yeah, and we do see the Shutterwalk come into hand for Edelweiss as well, so... Yeah, and looks like cycling is on the agenda for Storm Rage as well, with this Ferocious Howl, just to pump up this Spellstone, which should be able to answer the Mana Tide finally, should he so choose.
I think that would be wise for him, just to kind of put a halt to the drawing.
Yeah.
As we can see by her hand, she got a lot of the main pieces that she's going to need.
Yeah. So. This is interesting.
This
Naturalize on the Saronite to try to overdraw her.
Very.
It's not going to work because she already has the Shutterwalk in hand. But a heads-up play to do that. I mean, at the end of the day, he's probably only ever getting one Hadronox.
Yeah.
So he may not need both naturalizes.
Exactly. And I can respect that.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't see her hand like we can. So from that line of view, trying to just mill her to get rid of her resources doesn't seem like a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, if you hit it, you know, he's milling 2 cards. If you hit a Shutterwalk, that's basically game.
Exactly.
But, and then Wild Growth to ramp here. He's got this swipe that I don't know if he's even, well, he is going to now finally deal with this Mana Tide, but the damage done. And this board is not going anywhere. And Edelweiss has all the options in the world right now.
Yes, she has a lot of resources in her hand.
Yeah.
To just start playing out.
Yeah, just get a couple of combo pieces down, get the Life Drinker down, Saronite Chain Gang to generate more Shutterwalks later, and the Calisets just to pump up the rest of the deck. This Primordial Drake and the trade with the Tark Reaper will clean up this board pretty nicely.
Yeah, that was a nice turn for Storm Rage.
Yeah.
Start trying to get control of this board again.
Yeah. And the Zola, the Gorgon also coming into hand with the Grumble as well. Edelweiss just has pretty much everything she needs. I mean, she drew about 17 cards off that Mana Tide.
She cycled very quickly.
Yeah. So this Volcano will clean up this board, and then it looks like she's thinking about a Glacial Shard. Seems perfectly good. Freezing minions off of that Shutterwalk is a fine thing to do, and this Sleepy Dragon will come right down.
Yep, sometimes you just gotta play Curvestone.
Yep.
Second Volcano in hand.
Does she ever do that again? This is probably the most value she's going to get off of that at this point. Because, I mean, that will clear off the Sleepy Dragon.
It would. And I'm sure she's probably tempted to Grumble as well. But she didn't draw... Let me see. What is that little... Oh, wait. No, she's not running it because she's running the Prince.
Yeah.
So I guess she could Grumble here as well. She has a couple options.
Oh, just pass.
Opts to just pass.
Okay. And here comes the Lich King.
Quick Lich King.
Yeah, I mean that's
Lich King.
Yeah, that's pretty critical for the Taunt Druid to get down before the first Hadronox to try to get as much value, especially in a matchup like this.
Yeah. And
starting to pressure Storm Rage. I don't expect that pressure to hold, given the texture of Edelweiss's hand. Just playing out the Zola and then grumbling it.
Very nice.
Interesting, yeah, and that. Actually, that's a really heads-up play for her, because that will let her Shutterwalk and then immediately bounce it back to her hand, regardless of what order any of the battle cries go in.
Exactly. So just to ensure that she has another one. That's clever.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and not in any danger of dying this turn. I mean, the Taunt Druid can get ramped up, but not that quickly. I mean, Branching Paths in Death and Decay could actually do a decent amount of damage.
10, 16. He could have done up to 19 damage this turn. But opted to be more on the safer side.
Yeah, and this Swipe and Spellstone will clean up the Grumble and then push still 12 damage, putting Edelweiss down to 7.
Yeah, that's really good.
She does have the Healing Rain in hand if she chooses to use it, and this Hex is right on time.
Hex.
And hexing the Lich King so it can't come back. That is extremely timely. And then this Healing Rain to heal up to 19.
Yeah, that was a very good
turn
on her part. That Hex, man, that was right when she needed it. That was beautiful top deck.
That was like how the script called for it, basically.
Exactly.
So, Storm Rage does have the Hadronox in hand. He's had a couple of taunts die. He still has the Sleepy Dragon on board. The Lich King is going to come back as a frog.
It's going to come back as a frog.
Let's see.
And no number of kisses are going to turn that back. He's got a Primordial Drake. He's got an Ironwood Golem, and he's got a Tark Reaper. So that's enough of a board.
It's pressure.
Yeah. And he has to feel like he's running out of time at this point.
Yeah, and I feel like the best way to deal with the Shutterwalk is to just continue to put pressure on, because it stops them from focusing on their combo. They know they have to deal with your board.
Yeah, so Going to use this Spellstone to clean up the Acolyte and stop potential card draw and push a little bit more damage with this Sleepy Dragon and the Hero Power, but that's still going to put Edelweiss down to 15, and I don't think she's feeling very threatened at that life total.
No,
Or 14,
not with
rather.
this board.
Another mana tied into the hand. I don't know that she necessarily needs to draw more cards at this point. She's just more focused on getting everything out of her hand now.
Yeah, I like that. I think, yeah, we're just going to see a nice little Primordial Drake here. Good tempo play. Kills off the Frog, too, which is really good for her.
Yeah.
To mess up this Witching Hour.
Yeah, I mean, it's still probably 2 turns away from the Witching Hour, but you do want to make sure to get that killed as soon as you can, just to make sure it's in the pool. Stormrage does have both Witching Hours in hand, so he could try to go for a better than 50-50 on playing both of them in the same turn, but he's already used one of those Naturalizes. And he's still waiting for the other one for this Hatronox.
Bottom 10 of the deck, man.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, he could try to play out this Naturalize having seen the 1 Hex, but we can see the other one in hand. That's a little bit too risky, even not being able to see what Edelweiss has left.
Exactly, because you can see that she only has 8 cards left, right?
Yeah.
So you always just assume. Always assume they have it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you could take some risks with 1 card play, but not with that card, no.
Not with your win condition.
Yeah. It's like, what's behind door number 2? And here comes the Shutterwalk. So
right, we're gonna get it rolling.
Yep, we get a Life Drinker, we get a Firefly, we're gonna buff the deck again. Grumble 1 copy for 1 mana back to hand, which will be immediately replayed, I would imagine. It looks like it's still like floating in the Spectate client for me at least.
Yep, me too. Alright, he's ready.
So Stormrage does have a little bit of time, but not really. Edelweiss's hand is full at this point, I believe. So she has one mana copy plus 1 that she can Zola, but the Zola'd copy will be 9 mana.
So that's 3 6/6s on the board.
Yeah, I mean, this has to be
on top of the combo.
This has to be a Hatronox Naturalized turn. I mean, you're gonna mill 3 cards, really. I mean, the card that you cared about is on the board, but
yeah, at this point, you just want to go. Oh, seeing Hagatha milled.
Yeah, Hagatha and Kalamos. Though I have a feeling that Edelweiss is not particularly sad about either of those going at this point, because both those can just mess up the combo.
Yeah. Start clearing, and then more Shutterwalking. That's all that she can really do at this point.
Yeah.
I think Stormrage is thinking, like, I really need to get lucky on this Witching Hour.
This Witching Hour needs to this coin flip for the. I mean, even for the game, I don't know that it is, because I mean, I guess what he's hoping, the other thing that he could hope for is that the second Shutterwalk, that somehow this Shutterwalk order gets messed up and he can Doom Pack the board. That's his other out, but because Edelweiss does have to play some cards first to make room in her hand for the other Shutterwalks.
Exactly. Yeah, those little elementals just keep getting added back to her hand.
And each one of these just doing 3 damage, which it will eventually work through that armor. We could be here for a while. But
we can get comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is at least they sped up the animations, because you know, if you could imagine this before they did that, we'd be here for quite a while.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you enjoy the show.
Yeah. That's a lot of Jaws.
This is a lot of Shutterwalk. Alright.
Yeah.
He's going right for it. No hesitation.
Yep.
He's like, let's do it.
Alright, and there's a frog.
Alright. Okay.
Let's see if he does the other one.
I feel like he has to, because once it dies, it's less than a 50-50 shot. But
see, he does not listen to my podcast, clearly. Because I talked about this on my podcast, so that's the play, is you have to play both those in the same turn. And so now I can give him crap for not listening to Off Curve.
There you go. Get him, Tiger.
Yeah, this is pretty much, I mean, you know, good on Storm Rage for sticking this out, but I don't see how he wins from this point.
I don't either. But we didn't say, too, coming into it, that this specific matchup was the hardest one for him.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Easily.
this just isn't favored.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, this is almost an
Shutterwalk
auto
is
win for the
Shutterwalk
Shutterwalk
thing.
Shaman.
It really is. Unless, I mean, I really do think it is, because, like, just this deck is so slow. It just doesn't put any pressure on the Taunt Druid. It's really good late game.
Yeah.
And then over time, but just against this specific deck, it's just not good enough.
Yeah, I mean,
these golden Shutterwalks.
Yeah,
So...
it's very pretty.
It's just an angry little Shutterwalk looking all golden. And frog.
Yeah, so that was the play last turn, to try to have another 50% instead of a 33%.
Yes. Now he's thinking, there anything I can do?
I mean, ultimately, it wouldn't have mattered in this case because she did have the Hex in hand.
Yes.
So it wouldn't have gone off because he didn't have the Naturalize for it, but either way, it's still, you know, you got to play your outs too, I guess, but...
Exactly.
So that's going to be a game 1 win for Edelweiss on that Shutterwalk Shaman. Now we having the Rogue and that Exodia Mage left against all of Storm Rage's decks, and I would have to imagine Storm Rage is going to go back to that and just try to get the win with the Taunt Druid being his best deck.
I agree, especially because she has Mage and Rogue left. He's probably feeling a little more comfortable against the Rogue. So maybe he was thinking she'll just queue into the Rogue next, and then he thinks he can get a win in that way.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what she decides to pick next, though, because I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, he could be afraid of the Mage with the Taunt Druid, just because Polymorph is just as bad as Hex.
Yes.
But he could also be thinking Tempo Mage, so either way, he's wrong. but
exactly, he doesn't have to worry.
Yeah.
Well, does she run? I don't remember. Let me take a peek.
She does not run Polymorph, but she could get it off of Primordial Glyph.
Yeah. Doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure,
Yeah.
Luckstone, you never know.
Yeah. I mean, that first Hex showed up on time, so there's no reason that the Polymorph couldn't just show up from the Primordial Glyph. And where we would like for you to show up is to the Patreon for United Hearthstone League.
Oh, good cue. That was clever. I like that.
I'm no Brasky, but I'm trying,
It's working. That was good.
Patreon, United Hearthstone League is brought to you by viewers like you, and it really is through your support that we're able to do everything that we do. Coming to season 2, we've been really stepping up the presentation with these streams that we're doing for almost every match now, except when the games are really at off times, or if the players want to stream it themselves. And that's all through the goodwill of the community and casters like us and people who are contributing content. But there are real costs to doing something like this, and your support does help out a lot. You also get access to a special patrons only channel where you get access to the players and the casters, and a number of other perks that are on the Patreon page. And we do want to thank Run He Said for her support this month. She's our patron of the month, and you could be too if you go to patreon.com/UnitedHSLeague and contribute and help us make the league even better for the rest of the season and going into season 3 and beyond.
Yes, please and thank you.
Yeah.
It's always much appreciated.
Yeah, so let's get into game 2. So, I really do wonder where those kinds of losses, especially when it's against your best deck, those are kind of a test of wills for Storm Rage at this point, because he's gonna have to shake that loss off, and those games where they take a really long time, they can feel really bad, and just being able to shake that loss off and reset is going to be really important for him.
Right. A lot of Hearthstone can be like that mental game as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy to get discouraged, and that can really affect your gameplay. So he kind of has to just go into it like, new game, new moment, like, let's go.
Yeah, and I mean, Edelweiss is like the Terminator, so you know you really you have to be on your game in order to be able to beat her. But we're gonna get to see that he's going to go back to that Taunt Druid, and we're going to get to see this Quest Rogue. And I do feel like this is probably his best chance to get a win with the Taunt Druid.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the Quest Rogue match, it feels like it should be really bad, but like when I took Taunt Druid to Legend a month ago, I actually won a fair amount of games against the Quest Rogue when they were 5/5s and not 4/4s. You can just kind of like grind them out.
You do. You kind of just make them use their resources to trade.
Yeah.
And then once they run out of gas, they run out of gas. So you just got to be able to just survive. Really, it's just surviving until they're out of gas.
Yeah, and I mean, Stormrage has at least some of what he wants. He has ramp. He has a removal spell. He's got draw. He's got a Lich King, which he's going to want to get down as quickly as possible. Maybe to get a Death Grip. Maybe to get a Doom Pact.
This is a nice hand. Anything that allows you to just ramp, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, and Edelweiss is not really have a solid plan put together with the texture of this hand. She's starting to get there, but doesn't have anything that she really wants to go in on, and I don't think she really wants to use that Vicious Scalehide for the quest if she can help it.
Right. I think she's going to try to hold off to get a little more value. Yeah. Picking up the Shadow Step's always good to see, but yeah, she still needs a little bit more gas.
Yeah, and that's going to be 7 armor and a card and pumping up a Spellstone, and there's a Youthful Brewmaster. So the pieces are starting to come together for Edelweiss.
She's hovering over the Scalehide. She's like, man, I don't want to do it this way, but I might just have to.
Yeah. I mean,
pieces are in my hand.
I mean, she can if she wants to, because I mean, she's got 2 Brewmasters and a Shadow Step. I mean, yeah, clearly she'd rather do it a different way, but nothing wrong with this.
It works, it works.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to want some card draw at some point, but for right now, at least get the train rolling.
Exactly.
There's Hadronox, so...
There he is. Ooh.
Yep.
This ramp.
Yeah, ramp all the way. So we're going to ramp all the way up to 9 mana right away and then get that Lich King down.
Yeah,
Glacial
that's
Shard.
A huge play.
Yeah, that Glacial Shard. Oh, interesting. So she's going to go in on the Brewmaster?
That's cute.
Wow, okay.
That's really cute. I like that.
Huh. That is not what I was expecting, but it makes sense.
It does. That's very clever.
Yeah, and that's 3 of 5 with 2 in hand, so she's pretty much there. And Stormrage is going to get this Lich King down.
Ooh. That's a big boy.
Yeah. But I think, well, and then prep right off the top.
Prep. That was good.
Yeah.
You're happy to see that. So I think she might be able to complete if she chooses to this turn.
Yeah. Oh, and now she can use those 2 Brewmasters to bounce the other minions back to her hand. Wow. Yeah, this is really clever.
Yeah, that was very smart on her part.
And then freezing out the face too, just to remove the possibility of the hero power. Bring back the Glacial Shard, and then prep out the quest, and then she can trade off this Lich King next turn, and it's turn 6. So
both players are right now doing a really good job of accomplishing what their decks do.
Yeah.
So far, really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice pickup.
That is a very nice pickup. And, I mean, you could see the difference between 4/4s and 5/5s here, where these are just going to barely trade off this this Lich King, and they're not even going to get through the Tar Creeper.
No, which is crazy to think.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that used to be, those would trade 1 for 1, and now that's going to take 2 hits or a dagger shot to get through. Double Fan of Knives off the Mimic Pod, and we don't need to heal, but we do need to get rid of a Lich King.
Yes, Lich King is a very scary card. And you're very happy to see it go away.
Yeah. And I wonder what Stormrage could pick up with this Death Grip if he chooses to use it. Because he's still waiting on some way to kill this Hadronox off, because a Sap or a Vanish is going to be a bad time for him.
Right. It definitely slows down everything.
So Edelweiss thinking about using this board to trade off the Tar Creeper, make Stormrage use his base if he wants to clear off that boar, or the swipe that he just top decked.
Or the swipe that, he just top decked. Look, everybody gets one good top deck. Oh, he got a really good card too from her. I mean, the Novice Engineer is nice.
Yeah, I mean, both for him and to slow her down a little bit too.
Right? Yeah, that's a win-win for him.
Yeah. So that Sonya is not going to do a lot right now, but that could be relevant later. And then Double Fan of Knives will, and the Mimic Pod will generate a little bit more gas. And this Vanish is 2 Vanishes off the Mimic Pod.
That could be really good later down the road to help stall.
Yeah, no, I think that's, I mean, if you're going to be answering Hadronox turns, I mean, that's one way to do it.
That is.
So a Shadow Step picked up. Yeah, the Scale Hide and the Fan of Knives will clean this up, possibly combined with the, well, you can't Vanish this turn. Oh, wow. That Glacial Shard, though.
That was a great pickup.
Yeah.
Shadow Step it back. Or she's going to do... Oh, she's opting for the healing of the Vicious Scale Hide. That makes sense, because he can just kill it with his hero power, so...
Yeah.
Ensure you have a minion in your hand.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him using this Doom Pact just to clear off the Hadronox and the Glacial Shard and then build the board back up. But one of those Vanishes will answer that pretty cleanly.
Yeah. I like that
or
play.
that. Yeah, that's much better, actually. Yeah. So the Vanish is actually going to punish that harder.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But he still has Double Witching Hour in hand.
Yeah.
Which is quite good.
Yeah, and I mean, Edelweiss needs to get some card draw going, because I mean, she could use the Sonya to generate a bunch of one mana Scale Hides, but I don't know if she wants to put more Lich Kings into Stormrage's Deadpool. That's the flip side of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is true. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
It looks like she's gonna go for the clear.
Yeah.
Again, not knowing that he does have Double Witching Hour in hand. If he didn't, this definitely seems a lot more optimal.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and I guess it makes sense that she also doesn't want him to just be able to play out the Lich King again from hand when she does Vanish this board.
Right. More clearing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, prep Vanish, and then we'll see what she decides to do after that.
Also, now Stormrage also knows that she has another Vanish in hand.
Yeah, if he's tracking, if he's paying attention, because
I
do believe she did play the one that didn't come from the Mimic Pod, so he does have to be paying attention. Now, bouncing the Carnivorous Cube does put us right back in the situation, but again, she also does have another Vanish.
Second Vanish.
And these 2 Lich King cards are going to fill up his hand.
They are.
So he has 9 cards in his hand, so if she vanishes, she kills everything but the cube at this point.
Mm-hmm. We're going to see some more crazy Sonya stuff.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? I mean, you can get... Well, you can't really vanish and do all that, right?
Right. You can't. I think... Trying to think if it's smarter for her to just vanish here, because it stinks that he is going to get the cube back.
Yeah, but I mean, she also has to be thinking. I mean, we could see the other Witching Hour, but he's got to have his deck left. The odds of him actually,
she doesn't know.
Yeah, Oh, she's gonna heal up and then vanish.
Very nice.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And then trying to decide if she's going to play out the deckhand or not. Yep.
There you go.
This is still a ways to go for Edelweiss with, 33. Oh, there goes the other cube. So, Stormrage can build at most 3 more boards. Choosing to go with the Frostmourne to wipe out this 4/4, knowing that Sonya's in the hand, is a pretty heads-up play there.
So if he gets the South Sea back, does it come back as a 2/1 or does it come back as a 4/4?
I believe it comes back as a 2/1 because it's going to get resummoned.
Gotcha. Okay. There you go. Wording.
Yeah. I never don't learn something doing one of these streams, so
right?
including grammar apparently, so. Alright, so we're gonna play a Sonya, we're gonna get a golden Sonya, which is extremely pretty. We're gonna put another Sonya on the board and basically dare. Oh wow, so now no matter what, he could Doom Pact. That's the only way he answers this, because she doesn't know he has the Doom Pact in hand. But anything that he does other than the Doom Pact gives her another Sonya in hand.
Right.
Or another Zola, which is just as bad.
What if...
This is really, really clever. I mean, a lot of these plays, I mean, I don't mean to fanboy here, but, like, a lot of these plays have been really, really heads up from her. And then the Hadronox followed by the Doom Pact will answer that. We lose an Oak Heart, a Primordial Drake, a Dragon, a Ferocious Howl, and a Spellstone. None of that is anything that Stormrage really cares about. He really cares about having this board and having 2 more Lich Kings on board.
Yeah, 2 Lich Kings.
And
so
we might be starting to see Edelweiss run out of gas here.
Yeah, I think this will just be lethal.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's...
She sees it too.
Yeah, that's going to be it. And, like I said, the Taunt Druid, that was going to be its best hope, is just kind of grinding that Quest Rogue out. And I mean, I don't think the difference between 4/4 and 5/5 is really as obvious in that match as it sometimes is, but it certainly made it a little bit harder for her to be able to clear through some of those minions, and also to be able to just start hitting face and pressuring the Stormrage in the other direction.
Yeah, that one, I felt like in general, kind of going into it, again, it was another one we were going into that we knew that it was probably going to be tougher. Well, not even probably. It's going to be a little bit tougher for the Quest Rogue, especially after the second nerf of the Quest, to kind of keep up. And both players did a really, really, really good job of utilizing their resources, though. They played really smart with what they had. But her deck, we just saw it. It ran out of gas. And he was just able to regenerate a board over and over and over. And it's just, it gets a little complicated. So.
I mean, it helps when you draw all the combo pieces early, too. And
True.
But it also, that was a really, like, masterfully played game from both ends. Like, a lot of really heads-up plays. We'll just take a second before we get into the third game. Just to remind you, we have 2 more matches coming up. Tomorrow we have at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, bright and early, we have Andrew from the Happy Hearthstone versus Illyri from the Innkeeper podcast. And then at 2 p.m. we have Rod Johnston from Tier 5 versus Jordan Lingo from the Daring Reporter. So both exciting games. Andrew and Illyri, I believe, are battling for top spots to get into the playoffs, and Rod and Jordan are both always going to be entertaining to watch no matter what. So those are going to be 2
I'm
games
excited for that one.
Yeah,
I get to cast it with Brasky, and it's just going to be so much fun.
You're going to see so many dinosaurs, I bet. I think we should have like a poll in the caster channel about the over/under on the number of dinosaurs in that match.
I'll remember. Mental note made.
All right, so we're going to go into
Talon.
game 3 here, and we'll mark off that that Stormrage did get a win with that Druid.
Yeah.
So now that he's gotten that Druid out of the way, he's got that Taunt Warrior and the Mind Blast Priest. I don't I'm not sure where you go here, and I think the Mind Blast Priest probably has a better chance against the Quest Rogue than the Warrior, but it looks like we are going to see that Warrior versus Edelweiss going right back to the Quest Rogue.
Yeah, she's sticking to that one. See, I think I like the Quest Warrior here, just because it can, like, I don't know his exact build off the top of my head, but it does a good job of putting pressure. And this specific deck has a lot of good removal as well with the brawls and the 2-mana spell that deals one and
the Warpath.
Echo.
Yeah.
Yes, that.
Yeah. So what's interesting is only running one copy of Execute in this list.
Oh, really?
And he's running one Reckless Flurry though, which also can help depending on when he gets to use it.
Interesting. That's a interesting kind of switch up there.
Yeah, I've seen like one of the Reckless Flurry sometimes on the non-odd ones. It's obviously standard in the odd one, but the odd one doesn't really get run anymore.
Right.
But you do sometimes with like the Dry Whisper Armorers, you can just kind of get yourself up to like a ridiculous health level, and then you can just use that to clear a big nasty board. So Edelweiss is going to start going in on the Elven Minstrel.
She's just trying to get those cards. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, she does have Prep Vanish available to her. So maybe she's thinking about using that as a combo piece. Along with the Zola in hand as well. She could theoretically do something like Minstrel Zola to get another copy of it, then Prep Vanish. That's like an 8-mana play, but you do have time against the Quest Warrior too.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I feel like this one can go just a teensy bit slower because you have the time.
And Stormrage recognizing the way you're going to beat Quest Rogue is not to try to get value out of your cards, just put bodies on the board and start hitting face, and so he puts that Dry Whisker Armor down for no value. I don't hate it though. I mean, I was about to say
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Especially because he top decked the other one. Like, he's not drawing his taunt, so can just continue to put pressure.
Yeah, I mean, if the Quest Rogue goes off, it doesn't really matter how much armor you have at the end of the day. I mean, maybe it does when they're 4/4s.
True.
Yeah, so we're gonna get another couple of minions off of this second Elven Minstrel, and then a Wax Elemental to get in the way.
To get in the way.
Yeah.
Luckily, he's got the Blood Razor.
Yeah, that's gonna clean this up really nicely.
Yeah, it's a really good play for him.
Yeah. So that sets Edelweiss back to 0 on the quest effectively. I believe she only runs. Does she only run one of the minstrels? She may.
I think.
No, she does run 2. She does run 2.
Well, lucky for her, she has a lot of double minions in her hand.
Yeah.
She's already played one of the shards, but she top deck another one. She has double boar, and with Zola. So
yeah,
I think she's going to be just fine completing that quest. But also, so is Stormrage.
Yeah.
He's over here. He's getting these taunts out. That 8 damage could be scary, depending on, the board state later on.
Yeah, and I mean, that Phantom Militia is just so great for getting that quest ramped up quickly. This Glacial Shard, though.
And the other Elven
Minstrel right on time.
She's already at 13 cards in her deck. She's cycling so fast.
Oh my goodness. See, these are the games when I just, close the client when I'm playing against the Quest Rogue who goes off like this. It's like, you know what? I've had it for the night. I'm going to go play something else.
Right? You're like, I'm trying to have fun playing a child's card game, and you do this.
Where's my Switch?
Exactly. I'm over you. Oh, goodness.
All right, so we're going to get rid of this Elven Minstrel once and for all, it looks like.
Deceased.
Yeah, and so that's a board of 4 taunts versus a handful of cards with a 1 in the corner. This Fan of Knives is going to do some work, too.
Yeah, removing 2 of the 4. Very nice.
I hope you like my invention.
Oh, math's wrong. 1.
Yeah. It's Friday night. Math is too hard to, to worry about, right? Let's see. So she's got this Scale High trying to figure out where it's going to go. Don't know what she's... Presumably
I think she's trying to think about vanishing soon.
Yeah.
So maybe she's like, I don't want both of these on board, but if that was, she probably should have hit it first to get the most health, but
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She's just gonna go all for. Put him at 1.
Yeah, I maybe what she's thinking is that she just doesn't want to have them on board when she does vanish to give him 2 more taunts to be able to clean up the quest. I mean, these are all really kind of terrifying to send back to a Quest Warrior's hand. All 3 of them.
Yeah, I agree. And now it kind of makes it so he can't really attack with his Blood Razor without losing his whole board.
Right.
So
yeah.
that was very cute.
And this Warpath is, I mean, he can use it if he wants to, but that also is going to give up the rest of this board. Although he could attack in and just play Lich King, and that seems perfectly okay.
Yeah, I think he's like, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'll take that trade. I'll trade
No
2
one
3/2/1s. Yeah, I'll trade 3/2/1s for an Arthas. That's fine.
Ooh, remove the top 5 cards of your deck.
Yeah.
Summon any minion.
That does not help him with his quest. Because the quest is played and not summoned, but he may want to do that later once he's got the quest done, just to get a whole bunch of butts in the way.
I was gonna say, like, it could still be very problematic for the quest rogue to deal with all these taunt minions on board when you really want to go face.
Yeah. So Edelweiss has a lot of cards in play, but in hand, but not really a lot of great ways to deal with this Lich King.
Yeah, if she had Sonya though, this hand would
Yeah.
be ick. Still good, but
Yeah.
this is problematic for her. She's really gonna have to think things through on how she wants to kind of go about this. Are we
Yeah.
gonna see another Brewmaster mind game? Because I am all about that.
Let's bounce some pandas. Let's do it.
Easy. Ah, I love it. Oh,
Yep.
there we go.
Yep. Prep vanish.
I mean,
Yep. So this Arthas is not. He knows where he needs to go. He has places to be.
exactly.
And that Death Grip could be relevant. Is that a Valera that she just picked up? It is. Yes. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this hand. I'm realizing I'm not a Quest Rogue player because I don't know what you do with this hand. To be honest,
I think she's going to be able to get this quest done this turn with the So, and I like that. And then she's going to be able to do a lot with these charge minions. There's going to be a lot of pressure happening soon. But also, though, I will say, keeping the Lich King alive can be really scary. Because he gives you resources, and that is 8 damage potentially to the face.
Yeah.
So.
And you know, I mean, that could be an untimely Doom Pact like in the last game, too. Or a Frostmourne to give him more resources and give him more face damage. There's a lot of bad things that can come out of that Lich King.
Exactly.
There
we go.
So Edelweiss has the quest complete and made room for it in her hand, but can't pull it off this turn.
Right.
So the Lich King lives another day. This Stonehill Defender, I believe that finishes Storm Rage's quest.
Look at them, both right on time.
Yeah. This Tar Lord looks okay. The Gem-Studded Golem is very reasonable too. That actually does more face damage. That's probably better. But an 11 butt minion is also very tempting. But I guess now that they're 4/4s, the Gem-Studded Golem actually does the same thing because it still absorbs 3 minion hits. And this, wow, all of a sudden, that's just lethal. Doesn't matter what he picked. Forget the Golem. We need to worry about the face damage.
Beautiful. That was very well played.
Wow. So that Quest Warrior gets through, and now it's just the Mind Blast Priest that needs to get through this Exodia Mage and the Quest Rogue. So I mean, do you go back a third time if you're Edelweiss, or you try just to change it up just to kind of shake things up down 2-1?
You see, that's tough because I think she should stick it out because I feel like she could probably get there against the priest, depending on how well the priest draws. Because again, this is the kind of deck that it takes some time to get all the pieces together to kill your opponent. But so does the OTK mage, which, you know, if they're both kind of just like battling out on who gets their resources and their combos done first, you know, I think I kind of like the rogue myself. But what do you think? What would you do?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're gonna take it, you just kind of have to commit to it at this point. I think. I mean, you're gonna be worried about the psychic scream, but you got to win with it at some point, right? So
exactly.
You know, may as well just stick it out and see what you can do. I mean, the Mind Blast Priest, she may also be thinking it's Quest Priest. And
there are options. Yeah, Quest Priest has been pretty popular too. Yeah. I've seen a lot of it floating around.
Yeah, so I mean, against Quest Priest, she's golden, right? Like this is the Quest Priest is slow as molasses, but against the Mind Blast Priest, sometimes they just get Mind Blasts and they just get you.
They do, and especially if you can just get a bunch of them, like you just, it is what it is.
Yeah. So
well, let's see.
Let's see what happens. So
let's open the box.
We know that we're going to see the Mind Blast Priest from Storm Rage, so we'll see what comes. I know the Mind Blast Priest has really been kind of on the downswing based on the reports that have come out recently. And I think a lot of that just has to do with the fact that so many decks have armor or armor or healing that they just can't get all that damage through. This is not going to be the issue with a rogue. And she is going to go one more time to that Quest Rogue.
Sticking to their guns. I like it.
So this is a slower build of the Mind Blast Priest from Storm Rage, running the Twilight Acolyte Cabal Shadow Priest package. That's more of a tech against Warlock to try to steal Void Lords. You know, it may not be... I almost, against this lineup, I almost would have liked to see the version that runs like the Life Drinkers and the double Holy Fire, just to have as much burn as possible. Because you're not really stealing a whole lot against these three classes.
No, you're really not. Yeah. This Drake, though, this Twilight Drake could do some work.
Yeah, it sure could.
Clearing off.
I mean, Edelweiss does have 2 Shadow Steps and a Mimic Pod. She doesn't have any minions to go with them, but, you know... Those will come. I
foresee them coming.
Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like they'll show up to the party.
So we have 2 Mimic Pods and 2 Shadow Steps now. So we're going to get... And that's are those Scale Hides that she just picked up?
They are.
They are. That's a lot of healing, too. Yep. And Storm Rage is going to play out this Twilight Acolyte, which is... It's not getting any value anytime soon anyway.
A nice just tempo play.
Yep.
Let's get it out there.
And... We'll see what if so it looks like Edelweiss is thinking about drawing some more. I mean, she's got almost every spell in her deck at this point. She just needs some minions to go with it. I mean, she could play out the Scale Hide trade and then Shadow Step it. I mean, it doesn't really do a whole lot because, you know, Storm Rage can just kill it, but
I like Mimic Pod because what you get can really kind of depend on how you want to go.
That's an upgrade.
Your quest, that's cheaper and faster and
I mean deckhands are much better than a Scale Hide at this point. There's a 4/8 big dragon and Alex Straza in hand as well.
Yeah, he has a lot of big dragons in his hand.
Yeah, now we're gonna draw some cards. There's a 3rd deckhand. So
oh my goodness.
Yeah, and both Shadow Steps in hand too. I wonder if she's rethinking using that Shadow Step on the Engineer, seeing that she has those 3 deckhands in hand.
Yeah, it's very tempted because you could really just get this quest done quite early.
Yeah,
having the 3 deckhands.
She is going to Shadow Step that Novice Engineer though. Maybe thinking that she doesn't really need. Oh, she's thinking about it.
Yeah, this is tough. There's a couple ways that she can go about this turn.
Yeah. Like I said, this is why I'm not a Quest Rogue player, because I just, like, you know, go lie down with a headache at this point.
Over it.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I'm gonna go play some Tempo Mage, then at least I know where the things go, you know?
I know what the Frostbolt, okay?
Yeah. So second Psychic Scream is probably got to be making Storm Rage feel pretty good, given that this quest is not done yet. Not really a whole lot to do this turn, though. I mean, he could steal that Scale Hide if he wants to.
Yeah. I kind of like just drawing with your Power Word Shield, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate this, because if she does complete the quest really quickly, that's a source of healing he's taking away.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not bad.
It's more pressure. It's just, again, he's saying, deal with my board.
Yep.
I hope you like my invention.
So there's a panda. Is she actually going to go in on this novice engineer? She might.
She is. I saw her hovering over the fan as well. So,
yeah.
I mean, she's raring to go at this point.
So that's 3 ticks.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got a shadow step. That'll be 4, and then she just needs 1 more bounce effect on the engineer in order to complete this quest, which she could very easily draw into.
Mm-hmm. She really can. That glacial shard is a good pickup as well to really slow down.
Yeah, between the glacial shard and the wax elemental, if she wants to. I imagine the wax elemental will be something she's gonna. Oh no, maybe not.
She has a lot of resources. It's just trying to decide what's the best way to go about them.
Yeah, this is why this is such a hard deck. There are just so many decisions you have to make on every single turn.
You really are.
And they all send you in very different like decision paths.
Yeah, it can be really complicated because you can choose to be more slow. You can try to be more aggressive. There's really a lot of ways to do it. Second Mind Blast in hand for Storm Rage.
Yeah, I mean, he's already getting kind of close to just be able to close this out.
He really is. And he's clearing.
Yeah.
Doing some face damage. He has. His hand is very interesting. It's very heavy.
Yeah. I mean,
and like cards that you don't play right away, but I don't know, he's just been putting pressure on.
Yeah. I mean,
he could just win next turn if she doesn't freeze or clear.
Yeah, I mean, she probably will. I mean, she's going to prep out this quest, and I would imagine she's either going to clear off this board or at least play a Wax Elemental that will get in the way.
Right.
But,
I agree.
But that was a pretty heads up play there by Storm Rage, just setting up the lethal with the Burning.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and this will get answered by the Psychic Scream, I would imagine. But that's wave 1 of the bullet hell shooter that's about to come his way.
More damage in hand.
Oh, that's enough with an Alex.
Yeah, I think you just Psychic Scream this.
Yeah, I think you have to. But I think that's his game plan. That could be his game plan. Turn 9 Alex, turn 10 Holy Fire, Mind Blast, Mind Blast. If he can live that
15.
long, that's just it.
I wonder if he sees that.
I don't know.
Do you spot the future lethal?
Yeah. I mean, it's a matter of how much he plays this deck. I mean, you don't know if he's, really how much experience he's got with a Mind Blast Priest, or if he's just bringing it because it's the best deck he could play this week. Because, I mean, when you play a lot of Mind Blast Priest, you start looking for how do I assemble all that damage. If you're not playing it a lot, sometimes you don't get to see, you don't see those lines as quickly.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree, because at first I'm just thinking, I see, ooh, there's 10 damage to face.
Yeah.
Double Mind Blast. But yeah, like you said perfectly, if you're thinking, oh, if I Alex and then she can't heal, then I literally have 15 damage in just in hand.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot, though. And he's going to have to deal, he's going to deal with this board with the Psychic Scream, too. I would imagine Edelweiss is probably going to bring a Zola down just to have herself some... she's going to space out these threats a little bit, being wary of things like Psychic Scream, like the second Psychic Scream, or Wild Pyromancer shenanigans, or anything like that. And that Vicious Scaled Hide is a really, really good pickup.
Yeah, she's drawing into her heal, which is going to be very beneficial to her.
Well, that does mean if he does drop the Alex, then she can trade it off and heal for 8, which is pretty big.
That's huge.
So... I would imagine you're going to want to Psychic Scream this again. You could Primordial Drake and hope that you're going to clear these off, but one sap ruins that game plan.
Yeah, and then you're just dead
if
she has it. So because you know that she has the other South Sea deckhand.
Yeah, you could kill one and heal for 5, but first of all, that kind of ruins your endgame, and second of all, it doesn't really do much because you're still down at least 3 damage minus whatever charger she has.
Right. Yeah, this is kind of awkward because it's only 3 minions, so you're like, man, Psychic Scream this is kind of lame.
Yeah, you really want to save that. That's your second Psychic Scream, and then you know that she knows that you've used it.
Right.
But I mean, we can see that she doesn't have the sap in hand right now.
Is she running sap? Because some lists only run.
I can find
Vanish.
out.
Let me look. I'm gonna.
She is actually not running sap. She's only running the Vanish. He does come around to the Psychic Scream. I think he was trying to find any way to not use that Psychic Scream.
I agree.
And well, that's a really big Twilight Drake.
That is a really big Twilight Drake.
That's not something you see every day. I mean, 4/9 you do see, but not when it's starting from 4 health.
Not in a Quest Rogue deck.
Yeah. You know, it's Dragon Quest Rogue. We'll run some scale worms, run some worm guards. Let's go, right?
Exactly, easy.
So yeah, now with the Alex play, he can try that. He's opening himself up to a potential lethal right off the bat. So he's going to try to use this Primordial Drake to try to stem the tide. Vanish right on time. So it's really a matter of whether she wants to trade this off and then charge through or use the Vanish. The benefit of trading is she does get to heal for 4.
For 4, which I think's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that one Drake is super scary where you feel the need to vanish, but
yeah. And I think that getting the 4 life against a Mind Blast Priest is more valuable. I mean, you haven't seen a Shadow Visions, you haven't seen an Anduin, but as soon as Anduin comes down, you get into a really kind of scary situation.
Exactly. You have to be really mindful of your health because you know if you get to a certain point, there's no coming back.
Oh, I like this a lot actually. Using the full health one to attack into the Drake, using the 4/2 to go face to heal for another 4, and then vanishing to do it all over again.
Lethal.
I think it is.
Yep. Boom, boom.
Wow.
Got him.
Yeah. That's it.
Beautiful.
So Edelweiss has to be feeling very relieved to be getting that win with the Quest Rogue. Starting to seem like it might have been a mistake, but manages to pull that through. And now we're gonna get to see Edelweiss's Exodia Mage finally against this Mind Blast Priest in the bat. It's gonna be a race to the finish. It looks like.
I think so too. This is gonna be a long game. I feel like.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see how this one turns out.
Yeah. It's either gonna be a really long game or it's gonna be a really short game. But either way, it's gonna end very quickly.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be going for a really long time, and then it's suddenly gonna be over.
Exactly. And then one turn, they did.
Yeah. So I'm glad we're getting to see this Exodia Mage because I'm really excited to see what she does with it. I've seen this in Wild a couple of times. I've not seen this in Standard, and I'm pretty excited to see what this looks like in Standard.
Really? I've played this deck, this mage deck a couple times. I actually enjoy it quite a lot. It's fun to play. Once you get the idea down on how you win, it can be a lot of fun. So let's let them know that they can get started.
Yeah, please. Let's get started ASAP. Let's get into this. But yeah, I mean, I love decks like that, especially when they're off meta and they think you're playing. I guess in this case it would be Control Mage. I mean, that's also going to be for. I don't know how much it changes things for Storm Rage, given that he's probably going to want to kill the Control Mage as quickly as he can anyway. But it's going to be on him to recognize that this is not Control Mage. And how quickly he gets to that point is really going to be the key to this matchup, partially at least.
I agree. It'll help him with his gameplay for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because I mean, and keeping the Divine Hymn here, presumably with a nod to maybe it's Tempo Mage, and that's not a bad way to go when you don't know what you're facing. Does have the Shadow Visions in hand to start growing some more burn. And Edelweiss has both Witchwood Pipers in hand to start getting some of those key minions in place, and does have the Archmage Antonitis right away.
There you go. She's slowly getting the combo.
Yeah, not slow. She's like right there. We're done. Game over. So we're gonna start drawing some cards. That Acolyte's gonna come down. That is an Ice Barrier. An Ice Block no longer available on the list. having gone to the Hall of Fame. So your defensive tools limited more to Arcane Artificers and then some of the defensive secrets. And that Witchwood Piper will bring out that other Arcane Artificer. So the combo is you have one Sorcerer's Apprentice, right? And then you play 2 Simulacrums to get 3 of them. And you have a Molten Reflection. And then you play 1 Leyline Manipulator to make the Simulacrum one 0.
Exactly.
Okay, and so then you play the first 3, then the Molten Reflection costs 1, that's 3 mana. Antonidas is 7, and then you just have a spell that costs 4 less in your hand to finish up.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you just go off. So you play, so you're going to play the Sorcerer that costs 2, and then you'll play the 2 free ones. And so then you play your Antonidas, and then the last card you play is the Copier, the one spell. I never remember the name of it. That beautiful card. And then you just have endless fireballs.
Yeah. So this is, there's the Molten Reflection. So
that guy.
yeah, we're getting there pretty quick. Thinking about a Doomsayer to try to answer this 4/7. Thinking better just to draw. And that pulls out the other Doomsayer and not the Sorcerer's Apprentice, unfortunately. But does get those out of the deck, too. So either way, she wins.
True. It's still a nice little cycle.
Yeah, and if I'm Stormrage, I'm wondering what the hell's going on right now. And I'm looking for Burn to end this game as quickly as possible.
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable. I know what this is.
So these are not great options for the Shadow Visions either. Not really anything. I mean, the Powered Shield, I mean, you could use that to start with the Pyromancer, maybe, but, having given up the Acolyte doesn't really have a great way to draw off it. Psychic Scream doesn't seem like it's going to be useful with one in hand. Maybe just roll again.
I kind of like just rolling again here. Yeah. Psychic Scream to me, at this point, you don't need that card. But maybe he sees something differently that I didn't see.
He doesn't know what he's facing. It's a tough decision. He's going to draw off of this Divine Hymn. I mean, at a minimum, you know that she hasn't burned half your life total away, so it's not Tempo Mage.
Exactly. I feel a little comfortable in that sense.
Picks up the other Twilight Drake. And that is a Thalnos that came into hand for Edelweiss. So she can use the Witchwood Piper to clear out this Acolyte and stop any of that future card draw, and then just put some defensive tools up in the way. Looks like she's thinking about playing this Thalnos for card draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start cycle.
Yeah. I mean, again, the clock is ticking against the Mind Blast Priest.
It is.
So, especially because he can just... I mean, he's going to trip this ice barrier here, but he can just completely ignore a lot of those things and just start going face with the spells once he assembles his combo.
Exactly. This is... He has a lot of Psychic Screams in hand.
I mean, I don't necessarily hate that. I mean, if what Edelweiss is trying to do is draw through her deck and you're just putting more stuff in there...
This is true. That is very true.
Yeah.
You just friendly face feel.
The light shall burn you.
Exactly. The light shall burn you.
Yeah, so this Cone of Cold, presumably followed up by the Doomsayer, will answer this board.
The end is coming!
Yes.
We'll use the opportunity to draw off that Thalnos and not let it get shuffled back into the deck. Wonder if she's thinking about trading here too to... See, this is a perfect Psychic Scream for Stormrage. It's gonna feel awful, but especially because he doesn't know what he's up against right now. I would imagine. I would be shocked if he's put it together.
Oh yeah, because I feel like in that moment, if he did realize what it was, he would 100% Psychic Scream.
Yeah, I think so too.
Speak to me.
So it's just like, not knowing your opponent's deck, which we've all been there. There's a lot of, especially right now, there's a lot of creative builds just floating around, ladder and every which way. So
and I mean, if it's Control Mage, the last thing you want to do is give the Control Mage 2 copies of Twilight Drake. Like, that's just not a good time. Yeah, and so we have a Novice Engineer, and then a one of the Simulacrums coming in hand, but no Sorcerer's Apprentice yet.
No Sorcerer's Apprentice
But
yet.
we're gonna draw a lot of cards if we can make room in the hand with that Arcane Intellect in play. If that just came into hand, rather. And I mean, it's looking like Edelweiss has all the time in the world. No burn picked up for Storm Rage yet. These are terrible. I mean, I guess the Cone of Cold isn't bad. The other two are not what the doctor ordered. Think about the Snap Freeze, actually.
Not what the doctor ordered. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah. The Cone of Cold is fine. Oh, okay. We're gonna get 8 armor and freeze out a dragon. Yeah. I mean,
maybe now he's starting to see.
That's pretty good. I don't know. The problem is that if you take one, you still have the other one to deal with. But given that your alternative is again Psychic Scream, which doesn't really deal with the problem.
That's true. I don't know. I feel like the Psychic Scream has just been sitting in his hand for so long that to start get some value off of it.
Yeah.
But again, I just don't think he realizes what his opponent is playing.
I can't imagine he would. Like I of all the decks I'm gonna think of, like this is gonna be the last one, right? Mm-hmm. And Edelweiss is going to get a bazillion armor off of this turn.
She really is.
I do wonder if Psychic Scream. I mean, we can see knowing the deck list that it was absolutely the right play. I think even not knowing the deck list, that might have been the right play anyway, just to get those out of play, because this is so much armor that you need to chew through now. As a Mind Blast Priest, I mean that's 17 more damage that you need to do that the Alex isn't going to help you with.
Exactly. It's just additional health, like you said perfectly. That's very problematic. Like, even if you Alex her, she's still over 30 health.
Yeah.
Like, it's intense.
I mean, he's going to have to roll. He's already missed on one of the Shadow Visions. And that's why I would have liked to roll again on that Shadow Visions. But Gluttonous Ooze is a 3-mana 3/3.
It's a nice 3-mana 3/3.
Yeah, and it's not one. I mean, even now, like this again. I mean, I guess you would never Psychic Scream this board. You would have to know that it's Exodia Mage to Psychic Scream this board, and he hasn't shown that up to now.
Yeah. Because I'm over here like I'd Psychic Scream, but I know.
But if you're not going to Psychic Scream last turn, there's no way you're going to Psychic Scream this turn. Like,
right.
It's not going to happen.
And he's just gonna let the Doom go off, which again I can understand that because these
are all reasonable from his point of view. I mean, from his point of view, he's getting rid of both Arcane Artificers. He needs to get rid of those anyway. Psychic Scream just makes them come back and gives her another Doomsayer. Like, again, you would have to know 100% that that's what she's playing in order to Psychic Scream there. I don't blame him at all.
Right. Exactly.
This Acolyte is again a problem, and he doesn't have a clean way to deal with this. I mean, he can Gluttonous Ooze, but I mean, Gluttonous Ooze is basically not doing anything because she's still going to draw the 2 cards off of it. Mm-hmm. And Edelweiss has 5 cards left in her deck, by the way. So
she is already almost done.
Yeah.
That's crazy that she still hasn't drawn her girl yet.
Yeah.
Bottom, like this is the bottom.
Yeah. But she can ping the Acolyte, get another one, another Blizzard,
A Blizzard,
and then trade off and get.
There
she
girl.
is.
Alive and well.
Yeah. So now Stormage finally starting to draw into the burn, but a little bit too late.
Right.
And this is not really going to do a whole lot. So she can Simulacrum at will, because she's gotten rid of the rest of the 2-mana minions. So she's going to play both Simulacrums. Presumably she'd follow this up with she's going to follow that up with the Leyline.
With the Manipulator.
Yeah.
Perfect. So now next turn she'll be ready to go.
I mean, it doesn't really matter if Stormrage knows what's coming or not, because it's a little bit too late now.
It's here.
Yeah.
It showed up to the party.
Yeah, this is kind of like when you're already in the locked basement with the movie monster, and it's got the hatchet out and ready to strike. Okay, so that's gonna be more armor, going up to 55 health now, 53 after the attack, and then I'm just gonna sit back and just watch the fireworks.
There we go. Let's watch the fireballs just do their thing. She's ordering it perfectly.
Yep.
And here we go.
I mean, I would imagine you don't play something like this on stream without having done this a few times, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know your order of operation.
Yeah.
I wonder what Storm Rage is thinking right now.
Probably a lot of words that start with the letter F.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Like fun,
Yeah.
family friendly.
Yeah, fantastic.
You know, fabulous. Oh, yes, agreed.
Well, yeah. This is cool though.
Oh, they
this
both did so well.
Yeah. This was a really, really good match all the way through. I think that, you know, if Stormrage had managed to get a win against this with one of the other decks first, like if he'd been able to, and I don't even know how he would have necessarily. Maybe the Quest Warrior just got there.
The Quest Warrior is probably the fastest.
Yeah.
I feel like that could have actually gotten there just because even if she's freezing his, even if she's freezing his minions, the 8 damage to face would definitely do it.
Yeah.
Would you like me to reach out to the players and see if any of them are available for a chat?
Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll try to get them into a quick call and wrap up this match. I mean, I'm just really really impressed with both players' play. I mean, that was a really fantastic. You know, it's a shame somebody has to lose that match because they both played it really well, and it really just came down to, you know, I can't blame Stormrage for not being able to recognize that deck. I don't think I would either. Like, if I'm thinking about playing that on ladder, like, I'm not going to Psychic Scream in any of those situations. Like, we're sitting here begging him to. But but at the end of the day, I don't blame him for not. It's a perfectly reasonable for him to hold on to that. I mean, I would have liked to see him use one, given that he took one off the Shadow Visions with one in hand. But other than that, like, I can't blame him for that. It's an honest. He played it as well, assuming that it would be some sort of a weird control mage, and you know, ended up getting burned, literally.
Literally got burned. Alrighty. Both players said they are down for interviews. So do we just add them to this call? Is that going to mess up the video? Do we just go to voice?
Yeah, I will switch. I will switch to the match over scene, and you can go ahead and add them.
All right, let's add these lovely people. Oh wait, I don't know if I'm friends with. I'm not Discord friends with Stormrage.
Okay, I think I can add them then.
Okay, I can add.
Let me see, or I can just call them from the call. I can hang up on you and then call back from the other chat if you want.
Oh yeah, we could just head over to the other one.
Yep. Okay.
Let's do that.
So I'll hang up on you. I'll call you right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey.
The gang's all here.
Yeah. What a match. That was a hell of a ride. Well played to both of you. I mean, and getting to see some decks that we don't get to see a whole lot from Edelweiss is a treat. I mean, when I saw the list and I saw Exodia Mage, I'm like, please. Oh, she hasn't made it in yet. Let me see if I can get her added back. Oh, here she comes.
She might be having some Discord problems.
Yeah.
You know how Discord is.
Yeah, Discord is a lovely problem.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
We got you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. I was not expecting to be casting an Exodia Mage when I woke up this morning, and I am not disappointed at all.
I'll be honest, I didn't expect to play against an Exodia Mage.
Oh, we know.
That was the plan. Yeah.
we were waiting.
Yeah, we were like almost literally begging you to Psychic Scream at any point in that game. He was so Edelweiss, just so you know,
he had three.
Oh man.
He was sitting
And
there with
What did?
yeah.
What did you think I was playing that you Shadow Visions to Psychic Scream?
I thought you were playing a late control mage, and my mind went, well, I can Psychic Scream a lot of her water elementals and play the long game of eventually get things off. I also think my other choices were like Mass Dispel and Divine Hymn, and I was like, both of those are bad, so...
Yeah, it was like a Power Word Shield, it was that, and like Roll Again, and we're like, just roll again, get burned,
like,
please!
Again. You're like, nah, we're gonna Psychic Scream, and I was like, oh, word, that's what we're doing now.
Yeah. and I mean, you can't, like we were saying right before we brought you on the call, like, there's no way anyone can blame you for making the plays that you did, because, like, looking at that and, like, Psychic Screaming, like, 2 Arcane Artificers and a Doomsayer back into her deck, like, no way! Unless I know for sure that that's what she's playing, there's no way in hell I'm doing that.
Yeah, that was sort of the hope, is that it's like, okay, well, as long as none of my boards look good enough to Psychic Scream, like...
Exactly.
So, I mean, were you getting worried at any point about bringing the Quest Rogue when you got through those first couple of games, or were you confident that you were going to be able to get that through one of the 3 games by the time that you got through the match?
I was definitely, as soon as I realized it was Mind Blast Priest and not the like Amara quest, which was sort of what I was like really hoping to be able to beat no matter what with my lineup.
Yeah.
I was a little concerned that the same thing might happen where it's just like too much damage too fast.
Yeah, sometimes you just get down to 15 and they just throw, here's 3 Mind Blasts, here you go. But yeah, because he was sitting there with Alex and Holy Fire and 2 Mind Blasts when you were sitting at 18. And yeah, and we were looking at it like, oh, this is like 2 turns away from just turning into a bad situation, but you were able to get out of it with some pretty clever play with the Scale Hides.
With the Scale Hides, those were drawn very timely. Because we were like, we spot the future lethal! We're like, we see it! And then we're like, oh wait, never mind. She's healing.
And I was sitting on that lethal for so long, and I was like, I can play it. No, she Scale Hided. Okay, well I can't do this until I get rid of those Scale Hides, so I'll do this. Okay, now, I'm dead. Oh, where are my Divine Hymns? Now where are my Divine Hymns?
I was really worried after the second scream. I was like, oh crap, I could get some seriously dead draws and just have no gas anymore. And I figured if I ever hit 15 life, I'd be dead.
Yeah, I mean, that play, especially with trading in the full health Scale Hide and then using the 4-2 to go face, like, I looked at that, I realized, like, I have no business playing that deck. Like, I never would have thought, I wouldn't even have thought about it. I just would have gone, okay, we'll trade the 4-2 in, play the 4-4 out. I mean, it makes perfect sense when you see it, but it's like, I don't think I ever would have gotten there in 75 seconds.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where you just have to tell yourself, all right, slow down. Do I have lethal here? Like, it's pretty close. Can I make it happen?
Exactly. Like, what do I need to just maybe vanish back? How do I make it happen? And there it is.
Yeah. And so Stormage, what were your thoughts going into this? I mean, obviously, Edelweiss is a very, very tough competitor. I mean, I think that from our perspective, you played that match extremely well.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel like you did, and was there anything you would have done differently?
Well, going into it, I knew I was going to lose, which is frustrating to go into a match.
That's how I feel every time I play against Questroke, to be fair, so...
Because I was talking to Hat in person when I was visiting New York City, and he was like, oh, I'm so glad Edelweiss is playing. She's better than me. And I went, oh, good. So I should just concede.
Yeah.
And I think I played pretty well overall. I think that there was... I may have been a little too hopeful when I let the Manatide Totem roll into my Naturalize, and I was hoping to burn off something key. Might have played that differently, and then I probably should have just kept going for Shadow Visions for more burn. But I don't think it mattered at the end. I don't think no matter what I drew, I was going to win that last game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think when we saw the Naturalize play, at first it was surprising, and then it's like, well, okay. Like, if you burn the Shutterwalk, you just win. And
right. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
I think he has a better chance if he burns both hexes.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, the hexes they very much so just kind of ruined that game plan, unfortunately. Especially when you had to deal with 2 of them. So like the second witching hour was like less than 50% of getting what you needed. So it's just not a fun time. We were even saying right before you guys started the first match, we're like, I wonder what would be the worst matchup. And that was the one. We're like, yeah, that would be really bad if that happened. And we're like, oh wait, it's happening. So we're like, let's see how it goes.
Yeah. And it's funny because I talked about that exact situation on an off curve a couple weeks ago, and with the witching hours, and sometimes the play is just to play them both out and try to get one because the odds are better.
Yes.
But that just comes with having a whole bunch of spiders hexed over the course of playing the game. So. But really, so anything else that, either you would, thought that would have gone a little bit differently, like, that you were pretty happy with, like anything unexpected. I mean, obviously the infinite fireballs would be unexpected, but,
I think the only thing that I could do differently is I probably should have brought Spiteful Priest, because it's a deck that I am much more familiar with, and I think it would have been an unexpected bring, because I think with Control, looking at what Edelweiss could have brought, I was expecting a Baku Rogue, which I thought would have been in my favor, and either a Burn Mage or a Control Mage, which is about 50-50 or less, so I think Spiteful would have improved my odds with both matchups. But live and learn.
Yeah.
Aww.
I mean,
yeah. Oh, I was just going to say, I had sort of a little bit of advantage in that Dragon Rider and I sort of coordinated in terms of what classes I wanted to have.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was not aware of that because, it's easy to think that you just kind of got left with whatever dregs the other 2 Team Toast players kind of left for you. Which, I mean, would be fair because I would imagine you're going to be able to do whatever with whatever, but...
Possibly. But it was sort of like, okay, we figured you would have, it looks like, just control classes left. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to go anti-control.
Yeah, I was actually expecting you to bring Miracle, given that I know you've been playing a lot of that over the last year or so.
That would have been my swap of archetype if I were to have done that, because I'd been playing a bunch of. For a minute, I was thinking I would do this even Miracle Rogue I've been working on, but it doesn't have enough burst potential, and I don't know. I didn't want to go too deep into the memes. Yeah. When I was already bringing Exodia Mage.
You didn't want to have too much fun.
I mean, I did cast a Murabi Shaman last week, so, I mean, you can't really go you can't really top that anyway, but, so, well played to both of you, and where can folks find you online, after the match is done?
So you can go ahead and follow me. I am at StormRage23_HS, Rage is spelled RAIGE. I also have a podcast called Blizzlet, where we sometimes talk about Hearthstones. Most of the time we make inappropriate jokes and swear a lot. So if that sounds like the podcast for you, it is at Blizzlet. I would say it's probably about 30% Hearthstone, 70% trying to make funny jokes.
Can appreciate that.
Yeah, I was about to say, that sounds like a good time to me. Yeah. I don't know about you guys.
Also, possibly the only Hearthstone stream with Avenue Q playing in the background. I think I can say that pretty confidently.
It's a good time. It's an unexpected good time.
I'll have to check it out.
And Edelweiss, where can people find you?
You can find me at Swagoy Edelweiss on Twitter. Maybe sometime next year, once I get finally the proper setup, I will stream. But my Twitch is Edelweiss, I think 1735. Battle Tag, same thing. And there's another Copa qualifiers, so maybe I can make it to Rio again.
Hopefully, we'll get to see you on stream on the Play Hearthstone channel again soon. And Steffi, where can people find you?
Well, if you want to find little old me, you can go ahead and give me a follow on Twitter. I'm Steffi HS, so it's 3 E's at the end. You can also find me there on Twitch, because next week I will be back to streaming every single day.
Oh,
so
awesome.
if you kind of want to hang out with me and also make really, really bad jokes, yeah, come hang out.
All right, and you can find me at Wicked Good. You can listen to my podcast Off Curve at offcurve.com. And normally I'm streaming Sunday nights at Wicked Good FM, though this weekend I'm actually going to be casting the Coin Concede Listener League finals along with mid game, so that'll be a fun time. That was the first tournament I ever played in, so I'm looking forward to casting that. So that'll be a lot of fun. And thanks everybody for coming out. Again, remember that we do have 2 matches tomorrow. We have Andrew's Living versus Illyri at 10 a.m. Eastern on this channel, and then we have Rod Johnson versus Jordan Lingo at 2 p.m. Eastern on this channel. So on behalf of Edelweiss and Storm Rage and Steffi, I'm Wicked Good. Thank you all for coming out. Have a great night. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. We love you.
Bye.
That's true.